the end of the day, the two most valuable resources for everything you want in your life, it's not complicated. Emotional states, energy, that's it. Think about it. If you don't feel good, how are you gonna enjoy this thing we call life? If you don't feel good, people don't wanna be around you. And not to mention also, if you don't feel good, how are you gonna stop yourself from saying things you know you shouldn't be saying? It's almost a cliche. Oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, but that's because you're not addressing the core. That's where all the concepts you're getting from the books, videos, maybe even your counselor, you got some great concepts, but no ability to execute. When you can control your emotions, that is the foundation for that. Again, just making everything very simple here. So the reason why you've probably looked back at your life and said, wow, things are not going the way I want, that's because you've never addressed the core before. But when you feel fantastic, that gives you all the odds in your favor to actually execute in the way that's gonna behoove you and your relationship. But at the end of the day, when you feel great, you're just good. And that's what everyone wants. So let's keep things simple here. But any process you're gonna do to resurrect yourself, your relationships, and your life has to start with that foundation. It does not matter what you know. All your concepts go out the window as soon as you feel fear, sadness, anger. As soon as you feel that stuff, what good are your concepts? They're worth nothing. So it does not matter what you know, it matters what you can do. And if you can't control your emotions, you effectively know zero. Any process you're gonna do to, work on your relationships and your life needs to address at the core. Number two, energy. Energy is the fuel for everything you're looking for. How are you gonna make your dreams come true? How are you gonna make your relationship to the next level if you don't have any gas in the gas tank? Does that make sense? But that's not a concept, that's a skill, that's a conditioning. And by the way, on that note, a lot of people talk about mindsets and beliefs. That's not really what they're looking for. If you think about it, how are you gonna have a mindset when you feel like shit? How's that gonna work out? Your ability to execute is a conditioning, it's the way you feel. The conditioning is actually what allows you to execute a mindset or execute a belief. Beliefs and mindsets alone, without the conditioning, without that energy, without that fuel, they're worthless. So at the end of the day, what everyone really wants is a conditioning. And again, that's a skill, that's a process, that's not a concept. And that's why the people that work with me, my clients that do the Refocus on Happiness program, they're good either way. Hey, some people get back together with their exes, some don't, and most of them don't even want that person back. But when you feel great, it's a whole different level, not just for your relationships, but for your entire life. So let's kind of close up here. Two most valuable resources, energy and emotional states. When you feel great, you speak great. When you feel great, you just execute at a completely different level. That's what makes all your techniques actually executable. And if any of you are dealing with stuff where you're trying to get, a job back, a business back, relationship back, you first have to get you back. And again, to get you back, that's conditioning. When you get you back first, and you're now at this level, people want to line up with you. Think about it. A lot of you are dealing with breakups, and you're kind of in a rut, you're in a fog. No one wants to be around you. And the decision to be in a relationship is an emotional decision. It's not logical. You can't take a PowerPoint presentation and say, oh, you're going to want to be around me because of A, B, and C. It doesn't work like that. People either want to be around you or they don't, based on how they feel when they're around you. So if you have a relationship that's not going so well, you can have all the concepts in the world, but if you're not enjoyable to be around, good luck with that. That's not going to work out very well. You can have all the best qualities in the world, but if someone doesn't enjoy their experience with you, that's not going to work out too well. But to get yourself back there, you can't concept your way there. That's a conditioning. That's your ability to control the way you feel, okay? So again, I'll kind of close on this note here. Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you. I'm going to show you I'm going to make it so obvious what is available to you when you actually finally address the core. And by the way, on that note, again, this is a biological process. It allows you to rewire, recondition your brain like you recondition a muscle. I got doctors to do my program. Why do you think that is? A lot of you might have heard the idea of neuroplasticity, brain cells that fire together, wire together, but this is a true practical experience allowing you to recondition, rewire your brain like you'd recondition muscles. Same thing. And again, it allows you to keep moving at higher levels. But anyway, so bottom line is, that is what addresses the core. That's what allows you to take your relationships and your life to levels you ultimately want to go. Anyway, enjoy it. I'm gonna make this so obvious for you in the end part of this video here, where you see a bunch of people that are just like you, same situations. At the end of the day, no offense to you guys, but your situation is not as unique as you think it is. You have a brain that is capable of incredible things if you give it the right process, the right condition, the right stimulus. You have no idea what you're capable of. And again, at the end of the day, everything you've done is because you want to feel a certain way. But to feel a certain way consistently, that's a conditioning process, and that's why you're going to want to address the core. So enjoy the video. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Go to refocusonhappiness.com. What you want to do is you want to click the button at the top, contact Lance. Very, very easy form. When you go there, you'll see you put your name, your last name, your email address, and your phone number. And I will get in touch with you in just a few days, okay? Just be a little patient. I got a lot of people I work with, but I'll get in touch with you in 72 hours maximum. But after you do that, contact Lance link. Feel free to scroll around here. Again, Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you. If you scroll down, you'll see testimonials from psychologists, doctors, zillions and zillions and zillions of past clients, including medical directors, et cetera, et cetera. So like I said, I'm making this so obvious for you, what I represent for you, what I believe. The only reason you would not do this is if you're a glutton for punishment. So yeah, feel free to take a good look around. Again, I'm gonna make it very clear what I represent for you if this is something you're serious about, okay? Awesome. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
It's about trust in yourself. And here's the way to break it down to the most basic level. Once you know what you want, just repeat this phrase to yourself every day. You ready for it? I don't care what you say, I care what you do. That's awesome. That's very exciting. And as soon as you say it, I'm going to believe you. As soon as you show me something different, I'm going to believe you the very first time. That's it. You make it simple. Not so complicated.
I was sick and tired of hurting, and I needed to change. I had to physically, mentally, and emotionally change quickly, or it wasn't going to be pretty. And so you and I talked, and we started that night, and it's been nothing but an uphill, amazing journey to the top of the mountain to look around and say, I feel pretty damn good.
September, I was lost. I was searching and Googling and looking for someone who could help me really build my self-esteem. And it was your reviews. I went on Google, then I saw you on Facebook. I listened or read a lot of the information that was out there. And your program, I gravitated towards it just because of the reviews, because of what I was reading. It's like, there's something here that drew me to it. It drew me to, just the title, Refocus on Happiness. I wanted to have happiness in my life. And I've been through the therapies. I've gone through many different counselors and spent a lot of money doing that too. And this was one of the best trips I've ever taken, and I say it's a trip because it is a trip.
It is.
And it was the best investment and the best trip I ever took, because I was skeptical at first because I had been through so many different therapists and, counseling. And it's like, oh gosh, just another program that I'm going to try. But I put my best foot forward, and by golly, this was the unique one that truly turned my life around, changed my life. And I get to live with happiness. And I get to refocus on that happiness every day. Yeah, life's not always going to be great, but it's comforting to know that I always have your program, and my program, I'll call it now. It's my program to call that one.
This is true.
Right?
Yep.
But years of searching, and the breaking point back in September on Labor Day was a relationship that just kind of started to crumble, and it did crumble. And that pushed me into this program to change my life forever. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all you do to really encourage and inspire me to really know that this is something that I can succeed at. I was doubtful at first, but you never ending support, your encouragement, your guidance as to how to work the program was astounding. I mean, full commitment from your end, into this investment. And it is the best trip I've ever been on.
I like your choice of words. I like your choice of words. So let me ask you here, and I always like to emphasize this here. Michelle, was this easy? Was this easy? No. To anyone listening, this is not easy. And I think it's really great that I'll never forget some of our conversations, because to me, they were memorable, because I remember where I was at. I had a lot of stuff going on. And I just remember being in a space where, you and I had to work a little harder together to really connect a few dots so you could really get the most out of it. And so anyone listening here, do not think for a fucking second this was easy. Michelle and I worked really hard together. We worked together even beyond the core, Q&A calls. It wasn't just the core calls. And, I always take pride in I'll do what I need to do to get that person to where they go, as long as they follow instructions and they give their best effort, which you always did. You always had a great attitude. You always gave your very best effort. I never had to repeat myself. And that's what always makes a great co-creation. But because you always had a great attitude, open-mindedness, and you did the work, that's why we succeeded so well together. It is a workout. It's not a magic trick. So let me ask you a question, just for context for other people. If you were going to rank the level of that period was for you, like that, in terms of challenging, what number would you say it is as far as the most challenging periods in your life? What ranking do you think you would give it, if you just kind of want to throw something out there, just for context for people who are going through a really hard time, that think that what they're going through is insurmountable? It's really nice when they know, hey, a lot of people do this here. They're in a really challenging spot too. In your life, what do you think you would have ranked objectively the period you were going through before you and I connected? On a scale from 1 to 10, top 10 would be a top 10 most challenging times of your life.
This was a 10 plus. I mean, it was where I was in September was a 10 plus, and challenging. I mean, this program is challenging, and a commitment to not only really dedicate yourself to this program. However, the most challenging part of it too is going through it. Mm-hmm. While you're there to support, 110% of the way, I found through the program, the emotional challenge to continue to climb mm-hmm. was a commitment within myself that I cried myself through it at times. Sometimes they were joyful cries, because it's that emotion that really surfaces up through this program was something that I have never experienced. And that's where the challenge is. I mean, 10 plus, when I started this program, even through the program, it continued to come down, but it was fluctuating, because because I would call upon you, you're my lifeline. Okay, I've got this challenge. How can I get through this? Mm-hmm. So that those challenges it didn't go from 10 to 1, in a week. Over this 6-week period, or however long that you're going through this program, it's an up and down climb mm-hmm. until you really, when you're done with the program and you finish and you're fully committed to it, mm-hmm. that's where you continue to climb that emotional ladder. You can stay in that powerful state, knowing that it's still going to be a climb for the rest of your life. However, I don't think I'll ever get below a 7.
It's impossible. As long as you do your tools each day. I've been doing this for years. Yes. And I've never had below a 70% day. I might have a challenging 70% day from time to time, but it's never below that.
And it's a different workout at that point, because going back to the old identity that I had, I never had the tools to say, okay, what can I do to help myself get back to that powerful state? Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to do. And now I have the tools to know what to do, to really look at things differently, have a different perspective, put things into perspective, and continue to feel joy mm-hmm. even through the challenge. Yeah, the bonus for me was I thought that this was going to be more one-on-one between you and me, mm-hmm. and you working with me one-on-one, only, listening to my life story, my challenges, and how you're going to help me. The bonus was also being able to listen to other real life examples mm-hmm. with the other people who you're, in that small group setting. And you realize it's I'm not alone. And mm-hmm. you can tell me that talking one-on-one, but when you're sitting and you're seeing and you're hearing other people's challenges that are similar to yours, mm-hmm. it helps you. It really helps you to understand that you are not alone mm-hmm. in overcoming the challenges that life will continue to throw at us. And, because sometimes when you feel alone, you feel like, oh gosh, something's wrong with me. And that was such a bonus to really hear other people's challenges who were similar to mine. And it was inspiring and encouraging, like they got through it. If they can do it, I can do it.
You certainly can. Yeah. If it's true for them, it can absolutely be true for you too.
I had faith in this program.
Mm-hmm.
And I had hope. I hoped for the best. Mm-hmm. And love is, I rediscovered myself. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with myself.
Yep.
And I will stay in love with myself, and I will treat myself better, all because of this program. And those three symbols, faith, hope, and love, will always circle me, ground me back to my daily practice. I call it my daily prayer and practice now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you'll talk about finding themselves. And I might mention this to you before in another call. When people say, "Oh, I need to find myself," I need to find myself. That's a phrase people use a lot. What that really means is, what that person's really telling you in a practical sense is, they used to feel good. They don't know how to feel good anymore. They don't know how to get back to that baseline of feeling good. So when they say finding myself, what they really mean to say is, I don't know how to feel good anymore. I'm lost. I don't know how to do it. But when you have that consistently, which you have, and you'll never lose again, when you have that, guess what? You're found. That's all that is.
I've never experienced a program like this before. Again, thinking about all of the therapists that I've been to that have given me different suggestions, this by far is the one that truly works. And I'm just so grateful that I landed upon it and I stuck with it. I gave it my best 200% effort, and the payoff is priceless.
Wonderful. I think I have one last question. I'm just curious of this one too here. At what point, I know you took a leap of faith. That's what everyone does. I get that. At what point in the program would you say you crossed the threshold where you like, this is going to work? How long did it take you before you're like, you crossed that threshold of like, this is going to work? How long did it take before you got there?
Yeah, I think I crossed that probably after the first full week, because I felt something. I was getting through challenges a little bit easier. Didn't jump like you said. You said you're not going to go from 0 to 100, right? No. But I felt that incremental shift, and it's like, and then after that first week, and knowing that I was doing something different and I was feeling something different, I knew that this had to have a positive outcome. I say to anyone out there who is really at the lowest point that they've been to in their life and they're looking for a change, this is the program that can trigger such a positive change in your life so that you can enjoy life. You can, and it's going to sound odd, but you'll learn to enjoy the challenges. And at first, I know I was somewhat skeptical because there's a lot of programs out there nowadays as to, how to get over your ex and how to do this. And this is one that really, it's very unique in your approach. I think it's the way, Lance, that you really partner up with your clients and you're in it with them. You're in it with them. You're getting into their challenges with them. And you can tell that you're emotionally connected to each of your clients because you listen and you really provide guidance that is spot on all the time. So, if anyone is looking for a program to invest in, this is the one. Because believe me, I've bought other internet programs and I still have the PDF files for that. But this is truly unique in that you walked me and the rest of your clients through this program step by step by step. And that's really the reward that I received as a client of yours at the end of the day. And truly grateful.